through the lens of Taoism, let's say, because again, it seems to us to be more secular. It's not.
Uh-huh.
When we get fresh words, we can take it in better, from the words maybe that got attached to something. It all depends. It's not any one religion that does that.
Yeah.
It's really, I think it's about family attitude and how we're raised and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But so um, to understand that middle way, what centering is, if we look at the way Taoism gives us for, um, how the world was formed and everything, it's always in poetry. So it says the Tao is the origin of the one. The one. The one created the two. So the two is heaven and earth. Okay. The two formed the three. That's heaven, earth, and human. So the Tao is unnameable. And yet within the Tao retracts into itself to form a space within itself for the one, which is the first consciousness. So this is before Yin and Yang, but those are in our Western mind, we would actually think of those as God and Goddess.
Okay. Yeah.
So the one is oneness, it's the original oneness. And it has many principles. So if you're studying Taoism, you really look, it can always be put on the wheel, all the different manifestations of the one. Because the Tao we can't name. And when we start naming all these principles and calling them the Tao, that's wrong. It's the one. It's actually the divine feminine, not the divine masculine. But of course, in our culture, she disappears. We name her and then she's gone. She creates, she's working within the Tao. So you can't ever separate them.
Okay.
That's the yin and yang that cannot be separated.
Right.
But so because she's a manifestation and she's a being and the Tao is unmanifest, non-being, then that works together to create heaven and earth and human. And why, and human, so in our bodies, heaven is represented in our Shen, our upper Dantian, and earth in our lower Dantian. But the humanness is in the middle Dantian, in the heart. So it's considered a higher union than the original one because this comes out of choice. So our spiritual being chooses an incarnation in the physical body, in the physical world. Now, in one way you could say, and this, people have their own belief systems, we're really the only part of the spiritual world that incarnates physically, in this world. And this world is an in-between world. How many times have we been told that in all these stories?
Yeah.
So it's an in-between world. It's between these forces. And
these forces of light and dark.
Yeah, the forces of light and dark. And I'm not saying that the forces of dark are material. Okay, they're spiritual as well.
Yes.
But they have become material. So if we look at things that dehumanizes human beings, makes us more mechanical, more sort of robotic, more about data than spirit, we're falling below the human level. We're falling into a subhuman mind state because of that influence. And we have to live in a world, we have to all use technology. We have to walk this edge between these influences that are making us more subhuman and our true nature. And the only way to determine that for us is in our heart. It's our intuitive mind. Some people would call the physical or survival mind and the intellectual mind, but there's a lot of words for them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the heart is where we can center, and if we practice, we can go in far enough. In Taoism, the purpose of meditation is not just to clear your mind. In Taoism, the first thing is to use your breath and bring yourself in the moment in your body. So it's about body awareness and appreciation and gratitude. And then, we center that in our lower dantian, our lower abdomen. And then our mind, our shin, we use our breath to really let go of all distracting thoughts out to the periphery of our field. Okay, they will be dealt with there. So that's as far, we just use that breath to clear. Our mind is more clear, more still, and more empty. Mm-hmm. Okay, and only then are we really capable of going into the heart. Okay, because now we've stilled our body and our mind, and we can go in. And that's our middle place, our middle road. That is where we are not awake or asleep.
Yeah.
We're not in our outer world or our inner world. We're in this middle place that we have to grow. We have to develop. We're not past or future.
Yeah. It's really a present moment experience, embodied
Yeah.
experience.